Hello, Lincoln, Whitman, Max. Are you guys ready for a book? Have you been a good kid today? Should I read a book to you? I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Whit. Would you say Max? 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 All right. If you say so, we can read a book. Today, we will be reading The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Have you ever heard this story? Interesting. Well, you're about to learn it. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Are you sitting down? Are you listening? Do you have the book in front of you? Who's turning pages? All right, only one person can. All right, no fighting. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Everybody knows the true story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Come here. It's a little secret. No one knows the real story because no one has ever heard my side of the story. My name is Wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in once upon time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor happened to be a pig, but he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? Who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? Not I. So, of course, I knocked on the door and it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk in on someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on, and while I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the little straw house was a first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. So I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was First Little Pig's brother. He wasn't smarter either. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell in the stick house and nobody answered. Hello, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled, Go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. And I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doorknob. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food would spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was awfully getting full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my granny's old cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and the second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the door. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me a little cup for my dear, old, sweet granny's birthday cake. I was just about to go home and make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt the cold coming in, and I snuffed, and I puffed, And I sneezed once again, and the little pig yelled, "And your grandmom can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my grandma like that, I get a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real big scene. The rest, they say, is history. The news reporter found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story a bit with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. What do we think? Whose version of the Three Little Pigs is accurate? I don't know, but I don't think it's the wolf's version. What do you think? All right, guys. Did you guys enjoy that book? How's this mustache coming along? All right. I miss you guys. I hope you guys are being good for your mother. Maybe it's Christmas. Maybe Christmas past. Maybe it's Christmas future. Who knows? I love you. Lincoln, time to step it up. Whitman, time to step it up. Max, I need you on your best behavior. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I miss you. I love you. Can you go give your mom a big hug and tell her I love her too? Thank you. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Lincoln. Bye, Whit. Bye, Max.